welcome back. We're back with 10 things we love about Machine Head. This is the first episode of the Love series, and we're talking the opposite to the last video. We're talking about love. We had 10 things we hate about Machine Head before. Now we're talking about 10 things we love. As I said at the previous video, it's all tongue-in-cheek. We'll have a bit of seriousness. We'll try not to argue. Brendan has already been told from the previous video that he's not allowed to dispute stuff, which he shouldn't do here because it's a love one, but still.
Yeah, so I won't argue. I'll try.
Well, it's 10 things you love, really. I'll imagine here we might get a lot more crossover.
Yeah.
In the sense that beforehand we don't know, we haven't discussed this, we didn't plan this out. I chose 10, he chose 10, and then we went from there.
Yep.
So we'll start with you this time. You can go first with it. Yeah.
Okay, again, these are not in any particular order.
Of course.
So they're just the way that they popped into my head.
Yeah.
The first thing I wrote down is the lyrical content in a lot of their songs.
Okay.
Genuinely, songs like Darkness Within, Blood of the Zodiac, stuff like that, they really resonate with me. Like, you know, there's things that while I grew up, I latched onto, I believed, I felt, you know, and yeah, so it's lyrical content. I think he's a very good lyricist.
Yep.
I know he gets a lot of grief for it, actually, but I think he's a very good lyricist.
Well, yeah, I mean, we talked in the last video, the hate one, and we talked about lyrics there, came up on that.
Do you know how, like, we all have the band, we all have multiple bands where, you know, you almost like, you listen to songs and you think, oh, they're singing about me.
Yeah, yeah.
And that's what I get a lot of the time when I'm listening to Machine Head.
That's cool, that's cool.
Also, I'm not going to go on too long here, but
go on,
I think actually, on one particular song, I actually think they're the best lyrics I know in any metal song that I've ever listened to, particularly, and that's in Pearls Before the Swine.
Okay.
Which lyrically, I think is one of the cleverest songs I've ever read lyrically. I read the lyrics. I just think it's brilliant.
Would you know the lyrics off your head?
I'm not singing though.
Oh, what was it? You haven't got to sing. You can say some of them.
It focuses on the religious side of things, doesn't it?
Yeah.
So you know, it's all about broke vows and broken rosaries, clasped peace, broken hands in tears. In prayer.
Yeah.
And stuff like that. I think it's very, very clever.
Cool. Yeah.
There you go.
Well,
spot there, man.
Yeah, no, I realised that. I was like, shit. If you've forgotten them, you're going to look right to it. I have got something similar, but it's not quite. So I'm not going to use it just yet. But I'm going to go my first one again, like Brennan said, not in any order. But the first word that came, it's one word, and it's consistency. Not always at the start, but I'd say from the Blackening onwards. Sorry, from Ashes of Empires onwards.
Yeah.
It's been consistent. Consistently great albums, consistently good songs, consistently well written, played, and everything about it has been consistent. Live shows, they've been consistent.
Yeah.
You know, it's as simple as that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely. My second one.
Go on.
Again, it sounds kind of random where it's sitting, but this is really just what came into my head at the time. And obviously we're big fans of guitars.
Yeah.
You know, that's really what we are. I love the harmonised guitar solos that Machine Head, especially in the albums that you basically just listed, pulled in, from Descend the Shades of Night, which was really the first time I heard them go full on.
Do that, yeah.
The big, long minute and a half, both guitars playing off of each other.
Yep.
And then, you know, we went from that into your Halos, and I love that. I mean, that is my musical dream. You know, if you're going to put a song together and you put a 2.5 minute long solo with two guitars playing off of each other, but they also recreate that sound perfectly live.
Yeah,
I love that. I mean, I'm guitar driven, but it's that harmony of the two. Do you know what I mean? The way they time perfectly, one coming in, one coming out.
Well, it's made Halo a freaking live staple.
Yeah,
that everyone goes nuts for, no matter how many times you've heard it.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah, I agree. I love the family feel. Being a fan of Machine Head is like being part of a bit of a family. Machine Head fans, you know, you're out of a Machine Head gig, you feel safe, I guess is the word. You know, if you're pitting, it feels good. I don't think I've ever really run into any dickheads out of Machine Head thing. It's very much like that. It's like you're a Machine Head fan and proud of it.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah.
And my one, which is almost exactly the same as yours actually, which was that I didn't necessarily use the word family, but it was just the kind of live show, the feeling like of being part of Machine Head. You do feel like you're part of the band. I put down that, you know, at the shows you're all about Machine Head. The fans are fine. There is a family kind of feel to it. What did I write? The way that the band chat with the crowd, you know. But I also added into that the fact that they're kind of, I kind of feel like they're ours, as in England, UK, Europe.
Right.
Europe's probably fairer than just the UK, but the UK particularly, in that we sell out all their shows. The blood, the sweat, the beers comes from us. Machine fucking Head comes from us.
Yeah.
You know, he's been very vocal about how in darker times for the bands, you know, it's always Europe and UK that are still there. And you feel that at the show. You feel almost like they're grateful for it, and then you're grateful for the fact that they're grateful. And you all just kind of feel, oh, this is lovely.
Just have a big fucking hug, yeah.
You know,
stop being circle pit shouts and be hug pits. So in the previous video, the hate one, we did sort of say there'd be contradictions. And that don't care. We don't care. You can say, well, you said in the other video, you fucking said this and you said that. It's like, I don't care. We're literally doing this for fun.
Yep.
I love the fact that Rob Flynn is outspoken as fuck. Basically, if he's got an opinion, he's going to tell you about it. High chance. It's caused controversy. It's caused massive issues for him. But I quite enjoy it. Simple as that.
Yep. And I also said that there was one on the hate one that was also almost the same on the love one. So the hate one, which was like I can't remember it now. It's so long ago. Yeah, it was so, you know, how open he was, how emotional he can sometimes be, and it shows like a chink in his armor sometimes, which you don't like with a hero. But on my love one, I've written, I love how open Rob can be, especially emotionally. It shows, it makes me feel that he's genuine. Yeah, that's really all it is. I believe him. Yep. Yeah, it makes you feel like you kind of know him. Yeah, you know what I mean? You're connected more, aren't you?
Yeah, for sure. So, and kind of tying into the outspoken thing is it's a love thing specifically for this. I love the open condemnation of Phil Anselmo that followed Phil Anselmo's incident, as we'll refer to that, I guess. Well, everyone was pretty much down in it. No one made that perfectly clear than Machine Head, and that took. I think that took a level of balls as well to go as far as Rob did, Machine Head did, in regards to that. And I love that because that's what we need more of. You fucked up and you don't just deserve to be walking away and going, I was talking about wine. You know, even if everyone else was laughing at you in articles and shit like that, you know. Yep. There wasn't a massive amount of noise from high-powered musicians in the scene. It was more the media that was doing the condemnation, except for the likes of Rob Flynn, who were like, nah, that's bullshit, mate. Yeah, love that. Yeah. Yep,
no, absolutely. Kind of along the lyrical side of things, I guess, again, but I quite like the fact that, especially, again, well, it's always been there, but the political kind of tones and leanings that they have in their lyrics. Okay. I like the fact that they challenge society and call things out.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah, I just, you know, I like it. I think it's done clever. I think it's done well. I know Bastards is contentious.
Contentious, yeah.
But, you know, from things like In Comes the Flood, you know, I just think they don't come out and call, like, you know, just start calling, say people suck or anything like that. You know, they write clever lyrics. There's almost like warnings about what's happening. Yep. You know, I find it interesting.
Well, I've got a similar one, which is basically the same thing. They've tried to have their finger on the pulse of what's now, both musically and lyrically. Which I guess is a similar thing, which is, you know, paying attention to either current events, current trends. Yeah. You know, that wasn't always worked out as we saw in the Burning Red and stuff like that. But yeah, lyrically and stuff like that. You know, and I said Bastard contentious and all that, but it was on point to what is a now.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And while I'm not alone in the rock and metal world of doing that, I think Machine Head articulate that better than most.
Yeah. No, I agree completely. Yeah. Which one shall I go for? Okay, I like how resilient they are. I see Machine Head as one of the most resilient bands out there, to me. Okay. I think they get a lot of grief. I think they had, it doesn't matter if it's self-inflicted or not, and I do think some of it's self-inflicted. Yeah. You know, the supercharger stuff and all that sort of stuff.
Fair enough.
But as a band, they seem to get knocked down reasonably regularly.
Knocked down.
And they get up again. But they come back often much stronger. You know, like you know, all the stuff around Supercharger kicked off the label, and then you come back through the ashes of empires. Yep. You know, everyone goes, "Oh, one-off record, never going to happen again." You come out with the blackening. Yep. And I love how resilient they are. It's like there's this huge circle of people that are waiting for them to fuck up and fail. Yet they just don't. They you know, they come back. Like you said with the consistency thing, it's like, oh, this next time Machine Head come out, it's going to be the worst thing. Oh no, actually it's not that bad.
Like there's a certain level of glee.
It makes me kind of proud because I'm a big fan of them to go, yes, there you go.
Yeah, you know, that kind of
relief
thing.
as well. Yeah, no, it's relief as well.
Yeah, I mean, talking similar to that, my next one thing I love about Machine Head is that everyone, and I mean everyone, because if you say you don't, you're probably lying and you're just being that guy or that girl. Everyone in metal respects the blackening. Even if you don't like the previous stuff or the stuff that follows, there isn't a person out there that doesn't go, yeah, you know what, it's either good or it's great or it's got this and it's got that. Everyone respects the blackening as being a game-changing album, an album of the century, an album of the year and things like that. That's what I love, that they actually did release that. No, very few bands in their lifetime get one. Do you know what I mean? Like get that, let alone something so powerful. If you're lucky and you like some Metallica, you might get 2 or 3. But Machine Head did one that will be, and they've done great albums around that as well. But the blackening is there amongst it will forever be. It's amongst
referenced by bands.
It's alongside Metallica's Master of Puppets and you know what I mean, Slayer's what's call it I was going to say South of Heaven, but that's probably but you see what I mean, like those big ones. That's an incredible feat. Yeah, basically.
No, absolutely.
Yeah.
More from a personal level, I guess. But for me, I always felt like obviously I'm a massive Machine Head fan, but I always felt like I kind of grew up with them. I know it sounds really weird, but my life was almost in sync with them around their timings. You know what I mean? I was getting into metal when they were just releasing their first album. When new metal was even affecting my life, they were going through their new metal phase.
Yeah.
You know, as I was getting into heavier stuff, they were releasing Imperium and things like that. You know what I mean? It's always been like in sync. It's always been like this kind of inspiration out of almost tread this path with them.
Yeah.
You know, which I love. It's like that band that in my early days I got into them, but it was also their early days. And all their trials and tribulations, you know, them being kicked off the label, that hurt me as well. You know what I mean? Because I was now a big fan, and then their comeback when they were so happy and I was so happy. And almost like it's like our lives have been in sync.
Yeah.
Which sounds kind of creepy when I say it out loud.
You do start sounding a bit stalkery-ish, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you know, one of my next one of the things I love about Machine Head, and I can't say this for a lot of the big bands anymore, but Machine Head are still accessible. And what I mean by that is that if Machine Head announce a UK tour tomorrow, I know I'm going to be able to go. I know it's going to be affordable. I know it's going to be at one of the top venues in London, but not stadium.
Yeah.
And I know that's, you know, that can be seen as a downer because they've never reached the upper tier, the top tier. But for me, I love that. I love the fact that the Roundhouse, they last played in London as the Roundhouse, and I think tickets were just about £32.
Yeah.
Which is incredibly reasonable for a band the size of Machine Head.
Absolutely.
You know? I love that. I love the fact that...
They did 2 nights there as well.
Yeah. And I love that I can take my son.
They could get away with more.
They could.
You know, I wouldn't have flinched at 40.
40, yeah, I agree. Yeah, because I see them as... They're not, like I said, there's a top tier, and then there's this lower thing where you get your likes of your Avenged Sevenfold, your Bring Horizon and stuff like that. I put Machine Head in that branch.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm wrong for doing that. Maybe they shouldn't be. Other people would see them as a step below and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Maybe that's why I'm getting it wrong. But I think that's what it is, you know? And they're selling, like, they come to the UK and they get 2 nights to Roundhouse and they sell out both. And they sell out all across the country and all that. And it's like, but this still costs cheap. It's accessible, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's a good one. It's a good one.
I know.
My next one I've written is 2 very, very short words. Dave McClain. I'm a massive fan of Dave McClain.
Right.
I think he's fucking awesome. I think he's an amazing drummer. But also, like, you know, you don't see an awful lot of him on the social media stuff and all that. But the bits I do, he's extremely interesting, but he's also an amazing drummer. And to me, he's almost like the glue that held Machine Head together. You know, through everything else that happened, whenever there was troubles and everything like that. The one thing that's consistent, talk about consistency in Machine Head, is the drumming all the way through. Doesn't matter what the style of drumming, whether it's the styling on the Burning Red or the styles on the More Things Change, which is a much darker, deeper tone, to, you know, songs where, you know, where, I don't know, like Bloodstone and Diamonds has some songs where they're using sparingly, but you even get like blast beats and stuff across a couple of songs. He is like, he's versatile, but there are complaints about Rob, there are complaints about bassists, there are complaints about guitarists, but Dave is just Mr. Consistency.
I would agree with that,
way through. And I love him for that.
You rarely hear, he's going to be a loss.
I loved him.
Yeah, you loved him. Okay, so again, totally opposite to what I've arguably said in the last, but it's a little bit different because I'm talking about the fans, not talking about me personally. So in the hate video, I talked about how the fact I didn't like they brought out live bands with them anymore on tours. But I would say one of the things I love about them is that they give fans every penny's worth of their money. Whatever you're spending on, be it merchandise, CDs, and live shows, if you go to see them, you're going to get your money's worth. You're going to see a set list filled with everything you probably want to hear, barring, unless you're a super fan, the stuff that you want to see that you don't get to see.
Yeah, like the rarities.
Yeah, the rarities, oh, play the fucking Police cover. Shit, I've never seen that one live, They give the band, you get your money's worth. No one comes out of a Machine Head, and I'm actually going to tie this into one other actually, at the same time. You never come out of a Machine Head show dissatisfied, because also they're one of the greatest live bands still. Yeah. That's one of my other ones.
Yeah, as fuck, man.
Yeah,
we always say in metal, like basically you got to be able to do on stage what you record on an album.
Yep.
And I've never not seen Machine Head good.
I would argue that sometimes it's better.
Yeah.
Because some of the songs are heavier.
Especially the stuff from the Supercharger and Bulldozer is probably the best example, actually.
Absolutely.
Bulldozer is a raging fucking thrash song live.
What we'll slightly go on to it then, off subject, but I've got to bring it up. One of the things that I blew my mind and made me such a big fan of Bulldozer wasn't the original song, it was when I heard it on the version of the album not Machine Head, the other one.
Hell Alive.
Hell Alive.
Yeah.
Opens with Bulldozer, and it is, oh my god, is that a version like, whoa. Yeah,
no, you're right, actually, they're probably better. Because even, is there anybody out there we saw them play live at the last show? It's fucking mental live.
Yeah, absolutely. It was
like it was a pitting song, whereas you'd never have got that in your mind, like from the recording.
Absolutely, absolutely. So live there, I just an absolute killer band, and I said you get your money's worth. Yeah.
Okay, it's a bit of a random one. Okay, I love that Metallica like them.
I did wonder about putting on there. I love that Metallica took them out that time to Wembley.
Well, that's kind of my point in it was. I mean, first of all, right, again, no secret, we're also big Metallica fans. Yeah. And I was a Metallica fan before I was a fan of any other metal band.
Yep.
So when a hero kind of like approves of your choice, it's like you bring your girlfriend home and mum goes, yeah,
she's a keeper.
She's a keeper. It was like James Hetfield, by bringing Machine Head out, not only did you allow me to see the two of you together, which was brilliant, not just together at the set, but also you come on stage and played, I think it was Aesthetics of Hate. So James Hetfield came out on guitar.
Oh, right, yeah.
Aesthetics of Hate.
This is the ones at the O2, that's right, yeah.
So not only did I get to see you both together,
yep.
But then I got to see you both together multiple times, and you played together on stage. And you approve of my choice.
Yeah.
So I love that. That makes me really happy.
It must make you really happy that Metallica have moved on. They found a new girl. They're going out with Ghost now.
That's all right. They can go out with Ghost now.
Well, I've got one more, and it's a really random one as well, but I still quite love it. I love that Machine Head basically went, we're not playing you, Sonosphere, because you put Limp Bizkit higher than us. It's still fun. And this was Limp Bizkit when they first came back, and basically... Sonosphere got hold of Limp Bizkit and bumped Machine Head down from what was their earlier slot. Now, we don't know the ins and outs per se, but obviously they were Machine Head were told they would have this slot in this time, and they were told, no, sorry, you now got to play it earlier because Limp Bizkit are going to have it. And Machine Head were like, that's bullshit, we're not going to play you. Oh, we're not going to play it then. They are high. Good on you, man.
Yeah.
Fuck Limp Bizkit. Come back and say, yeah, everybody, we're back, we're going to do Rolling, we're going to release a new album, which you still haven't. Fucking idiots.
Yeah. Can I add? I'm not going to argue on it because I agree with you completely. Yeah. But can I add a little bit?
Of course.
Purely because I know a little bit more about it, but only because I watched a video on it today.
Okay.
And it was basically, I think it was like someone from Metal Injection or someone like that who was interviewing Rob, and he was doing this thing where he relayed Wikipedia facts to him, and then Rob said whether they were true or not.
Oh, really?
And one of the facts was about the Limp Bizkit thing, and then Rob tells the story, and you're right. Absolutely, what happened is absolutely right.
Wicked.
But he gives a bit more context on it in that, firstly, Sonosphere told Machine Head or told Rob that basically we're struggling on ticket sales. Really? And we've got an opportunity to get Limp Bizkit. And this was like right at the last minute.
Wow.
So they tried to bump them down. And then what you said is absolutely true. Machine Head were basically like, nah, that's not how it works.
Yep.
This is our slot. We're not going below them.
Yep.
They can go below us.
Yeah.
Or we're out. And Somerfield wouldn't have it, so they pulled out. But they did end up playing.
Yes, they did.
And he wanted to clarify it in this video because he was saying a lot of people thought that then Machine Head went, oh God, we're going to lose money, we better do it.
Right.
And he said, actually, he went, here's what happened. We were done, we weren't going. And then Sonosphere, bookers, whatever, came to us. And there was about a day or two of negotiating and discussion of them which were basically them begging us to continue playing.
Yep.
And what they ended up doing was they had tripled our fee.
Oh.
They flew us out there on private jets.
Oh my God.
And said, if we do all this, will you play? So Rob went, yeah, all right.
That's some good negotiation.
Fair play.
So many people will be so angry if they're hearing that, you know that.
Yeah, they probably will be. But you know what? Rob was like, you know what? We're a band at the end of the day. We still want to play. Do you know what I mean? He's like, so they're like, oh, we'll give you loads of money. We'll chuck you on private jets. You know, we'll look after you. Please come and play. Please
Yeah.
So he went, go on then.
Go on then. All right, then you've twisted my arm.
So I don't think for me that doesn't show him in a bad. I personally doesn't show him in a bad light. I think it's funny. I think it's a funny story.
Yeah, it's a funny story.
You know.
But yeah, it's one of those things that definitely sort of love, and that's me out. That's my 10.
And my last one, I basically love the fact that Rob is a pivotal point for shit stirring and opinions and arguments and trolls.
Right.
I like a little debate and argument and heated and stuff like that. And Rob, I don't think he does it purposely, but basically you're almost guaranteed that by Rob coming out with something on social media, there's about to be a big kick-off.
Yeah.
And I like that. To be honest, I think he keeps shit interesting. I know that's a really weird way to do that, but you know, Rob will come out, he'll put a song out there, it'll cause controversy, and everyone will kick off about it, and for about 3 weeks there's a load of topics and debates. So I'm glad that he does that stuff, because I find that much more interesting than everyone just going, yeah, all right.
Yeah, like he has actually strong opinions, and it's going to cause a bit of debate. Yeah.
So yeah, it's basically like, I almost feel like he's one of those guys who's basically just trying to wind everyone up. He's like a little bit of a troublemaker. He's like, oh, I'm just going to go on the internet and write this.
There we go.
You know.
There's our 10 things we love about Machine Head. So thank you for watching. Make sure you check out the 10 things we hate about Machine Head. And if you have any suggestions of what we should do, 10 things I love and or hate about a certain subject, band and so on, send them our way in the comment section. We'll do it.